You're watching Steep in the Woods. I'm Josh.
I'm Celia.
And this is our daughter, Ivy. Here at Steep in the Woods, we are 100% off-grid. We live on a 14-acre mountaintop homestead nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. Here on Steep in the Woods, we do totally off-grid on a shoestring budget. You'll see no fancy stuff here. It's just making do with what you have and what you can figure out. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. And if you're a tough old root, then welcome back. Today is part 2 of the Appalachian workshop build. Now that we have bagged up all the leaves for use as mulch on next year's garden, it's time to start on the topsoil. It's going to be a lot of effort and a lot of work, but for me, the payout is tremendous. You can't buy this stuff in the store, and I try to make use of every single thing that I have been given. I can't tell you the amount of blessings that have been bestowed on us, and I don't want to be one of them people that takes it for granted. Make the best use of everything that you have, and you'll be able to make it in this way of life. One of the ways you can tell this is good is it comes up like a brownie here. So I'm just cutting it in little squares. Come next year when we put it in the garden, we'll hopefully we can get us a decent garden hoe, and we'll chop it up and mix it in with the soil that's already there. And I have a couple really interesting, really exciting things for me that we will be doing with the garden, and different methods of getting a really good garden without any money. And this is one of them right here. Hey, go build your workshop and dig up, shovel up the top soil, put that on your garden. That's step 1 there, obviously. Workshop build. I apologize for the lighting. We wanted sun and we got it. Our last place didn't get any sun. We had a little postage stamp size garden that got like 4 hours a day. And we did everything that we could with it. But we always had the worst yield of anybody because we just didn't have any sun. We work real hard on our gardens. And hey, that's a rock. So it wasn't a labor issue. I tell you, it's really depressing to put 10 times the amount of energy in your garden than anybody else does and have the lowest yield. So we cut down trees not only to help protect the house, didn't want nothing falling on it, but Cecilia deserves a decent harvest, and by God I do too. However, it can make these videos a little difficult to film. Now that we have removed all of the topsoil and bagged it up for future use in our gardens, what I'm doing is digging down just a little bit to some of that harder soil and making this thing a little bit squarish. When I say squarish, I mean squarish because it's not really a perfect square, but that doesn't matter. When you're building something out of log rounds and clay, there's no point breaking out your tape measure. Just sort of, you know, eyeball the deal, and you'll be as good as you ever would have to begin with. I'm marking my posts with some of these broken concrete block. The 4 corner posts are obvious. I went ahead and threw a block there. Now I need to measure out the 4 doorways and space them out. Instead of fooling with this rat's nest sort of deal here, I got this stick. We're just going to measure him out. I'm thinking 3 feet. 3 feet sounds good. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, 3 feet right there. Now, there we go. There's our measuring stick. And get this deal just out of here. We have one more step before we get to the post-building process. That is to dig a trench here in the middle, because whenever you're doing your own posts just out of logs that you find on your off-grid property, the best thing to do is to char them. You want to char them so that they last a good long time. These type of things take an awful lot of effort. It's not easy to take a tree and turn it into a usable post. So you want that sucker to last as long as physically possible. This is not a bushcraft build. This is an Appalachian build. I'm not a bushcrafter. Hey, you notice I got shoes on. It's not like I'm taking my shoes off and coming out here with a couple of sharp rocks. This has bushcraft elements to it, but it's really just me needing to build myself a workshop with no money. I can't afford to dump a lot of money into this. So how am I going to do it? Well, bushcrafting is free. So we're going to take elements of that and use it in this build. However, it's not a bushcraft build. So either way, disclaimer of sorts, middle of the video. Now we dig us this trench, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So that's everything that you need to do before you get to the post-building stage. That's the exciting stage. That's the stage that gets you amped up. That's the, that's where you actually get to see visible progress with your build. You get to use power tools. It's going to be a wonderful thing. Up until this point, if you hadn't have seen the videos, you'd never even known that we was in a patch of laurels, and the ground looks remarkably similar. You would think some dude just scratched out a little square on the side of the hill, and hey, I'll call it done. That was a hard 3 hours work. But actually, there's a whole lot more that goes into it than how it would appear if you weren't taken along for every step of the process. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're new to the channel, hit that button. If you're a tough old root, hit that other button. If you want to help support the project, there are links below. Until next time, here, Steve in the Woods.